right, here we are looking at the example 1. We're going to fill in this chart for Math 7 2-9. So I'm just going to real quick take a second and letter all of these blank spaces, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H, just so we have a better idea of what we're talking about when we're looking at this. So I need to fill in the chart, and it's just asking me to go back and forth, converting fractions to decimals and so forth. So for this first row here, they start me off with a fraction, and they're asking me to convert that into a decimal. So if I go back to my notes, a fraction to a decimal, by hand, I divide bottom out, or I can use the calculator. I'm going to show you by hand just so you have an example. So this is also another reason why I labeled these, is so I can keep track of my work. So it says to divide bottom out. So I'm dividing 11 into 8. 11 doesn't go into 8, but it does go into 80 7 times, because 7 times 11 is 77. 80 subtract 77, there's 3, bring down another 0. 11 goes into 30 twice, and that's 22. With 8 left over, bring down another 0. 11 goes into 87 times for 77, and then I'm seeing I'm going to have a pattern going on here. So my decimal for 8 11ths is 0.727, repeating. That 27 is repeating over and over and over again. And again, just to confirm myself with the calculator here, the calculator, I do top divide bottom. And you can see I've got that 7272727, which I just show with that line over the top. So now I have a decimal and I want to take it to a percent. I need to take that and I need to multiply it by 100. So I can continue working right in my calculator here, times 100, and I have 72.72 repeating percent. So I'm just going to show a little bit of work for that part B. Let's not use pink, let's use purple. So 0.727272 times 100 is 72.72 repeating. Okay, so in the second row, we are starting off with a percent, and we want to convert that into a decimal and into a fraction. So a percent to a decimal, I need to take that and divide by 100. So to get D, I'm taking that 0.4% and dividing that by 100. So go into my handy dandy calculator. 0.4 divided by 100 is going to give me 4.004 thousandths. So 0.004. Good. And then to get that to a fraction, I have a decimal that I want to take to a fraction. I write it how you say it. So if I'm looking at my little decimal points or place values here, that's the tenths, hundredths, and then that 4 is the thousandths. So 4 thousandths would be written as 4 over 1,000. And that would be, for my part, C. 4 over 1,000, which can actually be reduced. Both of those are divisible by 2 to 500ths, which could also be further reduced to 1 250. Okay, moving forward. So in the next one, they're starting us off with a decimal, and they want us to go to a fraction or to a percent. So decimal to a fraction, we write it how you say it. So this decimal is -2 and 45 hundredths. So it's going to be a mixed number because I have that whole number there. So let's go purple. -2 and 45 out of 100. 45 hundredths. Which can be reduced. Both of those can be simplified by 5. So -2 and 9 times 5 is 45, and that goes into that 20 times. All right, so then we've got to go to the percent. A decimal to a percentage, we just want to multiply by 100, or move that decimal 2 places to the right. So to get F, I'm looking at -2.45 times 100. I said that wrong. We're taking a decimal to a percent. Nope, I'm right. Multiply by 100, like I said. I don't know why I question myself. Move that decimal point 2 places to the right is going to be -245%. Yes, I can have a negative percent, and yes, you can have percentages that are higher than 100. They just mean sort of different things that we'll talk about eventually. All right, this example is taking forever. It's kind of a lot of parts to it, but here we go. Last one, this whole number 36. I can turn any kind of whole number, like 36, into a fraction by dividing it by 1. So 36 over 1 would be my fraction. And a percent, remember, to get to the percent, all I do is multiply that by 100, which gives me that 3,600%. And there we have it, folks. We've got some notes.